has property right next to me, so it's not like I own the farm. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe he'll run something over here. Alright, well it's about 9:30 and we're gonna sit for just a few more minutes, but that's probably gonna be about it for us. We had a pretty good hunt this morning, saw those 5 deer early. I think the peak feeding time was about 8 o'clock and we saw those deer about 7:30, 7:35, so pretty close. But we haven't seen anything since. We gotta get out and go do some Thanksgiving stuff, so anyway, pretty good hunt this morning. Feel good about it. All right, well, we are headed back to Arkansas this afternoon. We had a really good hunt this morning as far as seeing deer. We saw 5 deer this morning, 3 does and 2 little yearlings. So I was pretty excited about that. I had been about 12 times up until this morning and only seen 1 deer, so I was excited to be able to see 5 deer this morning. And when we got down and we started looking around my place, we're starting to see a lot of hook bushes, man. I mean, there was some pretty nice bushes that were hooked on the way out, and I checked the camera and I had this big cull buck that I've been hunting. He's probably 220 pounds, man. He's a stud of a body, but he's just a puny rack. I mean, he's heavy. He's about 15, 16 inches wide, and he's heavy, but his tines aren't but about that long, and he just kind of slant forward. And so I've been after him for about 2 or 3 years now, and so I saw enough activity this morning that I want to go back in there this afternoon and get around on the very south side of the property and see if I can't get in the woods. It's an oak flat back there that separates 2 thickets, 2 WRP tracks. I think that's where he's coming from, and so we're hoping to be able to cut him off maybe before dark, before he gets to where that camera was, or before he gets to where all them rubs were. So that's the plan. We've got a little drive ahead of us, about 40 minutes, but when we get there, we're gonna get our stuff together, head to the back of the property, and hopefully we can get us one down tonight. And I am stoked, son. I drilled him. He dropped right in his tracks. I'm not even sure exactly how big he is. I just know he had a pretty good rack on him. I see him over there wiggling. He's over there moving. I gotta keep an eye on him, so. Hey, dude. That happened just like we said that it was gonna happen. He came down the same trail that doe and those two fawns came on. About 30, 35, 40 minutes later, he came down that same trail, but he was going further downwind to get downwind of me. And I knew I had to go ahead and take a shot, because if I didn't, he was fixing to get downwind, gonna smell me, man. So, yes, I'm super excited about this. Yes. He looks like he's down, so we're gonna go over and take a look at him. Alright, we're about to go see what we got. We don't know exactly how big he is. We just know he was a nice rack. He was big enough. Oh man, he looks pretty good right here. Here he is. First buck I've killed over here on my place in 10 years, I believe it is. We've owned this thing for 12 years. I killed one 2 years after we bought it, and this is the first one that I've killed in 10 years here. And man, let me tell you something. It was a heck of a hunt. It was crazy the way it worked out. I came this morning and hunted, and I saw 5 deer hunted on the other side of the farm. And this is a 60-acre block of timber, WRP in between. And I saw 5 this morning, and 3 of them were coming this direction. So I knew that this was a good little block of woods right here. So I said, I think the deer coming from this direction headed that way. So I'm gonna go to the back side of the farm, and I'm gonna try to cut them off before they get to the other big block of timber on the other side of the farm, on the east side. And so that's what I did. And about 4 o'clock or 3:30, something like that, I looked over to my left, and there was a doe sitting there staring at me about 30 yards away. She had busted me. Well, she ended up circling around, getting downwind, and she blew and ran out of it there. It was her and 2 little old yearlings. And they got on to the edge of the woods out there, just kind of eased off. And so I picked up, moved my location so that I could look back this direction to see where the deer were coming from, instead of having them sneak up on me. And I did an interview in the camera and said, hopefully we'll get a buck. Since it's 2 hours till dark, we'll get a buck to do the same thing the doe and those yearlings did. And I'll be doggone, 40, 45 minutes later, this buck right here, nice 10-point, he came walking down the same trail, man. The only problem is I got my camera swung over there, but I really couldn't get zoomed in too good, because I was afraid he was going to see me moving, and he was about to go downwind on me, so I knew I had to shoot him pretty quick. So, but we'll take a look at it on the TV and see what it looks like. But man, I am telling you, I am so tickled to get this deer. He's not a 150-inch deer, nothing like that, but I really don't care. It's on my own property. I'm excited to get him, and I feel really, really good about it this afternoon. My son's coming right now. It's going to help me get him, but man, I'm pumped. I am super excited about this deer.